relationships.com off of Love Cane. So let's talk about the rules. And I've said this before. Rules only apply to guys that women are not into. Or maybe she just not attracted to the dude no more. Maybe she just don't like the dude no more. Let me tell you something, man. There's a lot of people within the mainstream media. They talk this talk about, hey, you gotta follow the rules. And everybody jumps in. Everyone goes along with it. Women jump up on it. And they go along with it because they benefit from it. You have to understand that. And a lot of guys, they drink the Kool-Aid too because they butt kisses, right? But if you got your shit together, if you're a real mover and shake out here, if you're a boss out here, or if you're on the way up, you ain't got to be a boss. You can be on the way up. You can be about your business. You might have a plan. You know where you're going. That type of dude, a woman ain't going to approach him with no damn rules. And that's just how it is. Women only approach guys with these conditions because she wants to control him and pull him around, and she always wants to know what's going to happen next. She doesn't want to be in the dark. You know why? Because she's not really into him like that. He's just probably a short-term deal or until she thinks she can do better. Now, if she runs into one of those alpha dudes, the movers and shakers out here, the best of the best, the cream of the crop type dudes, she's not going to approach him with no type of rules. It's going to be all about him. And it has to be all about him because it was about him before she even met the dude. And she knows that she can easily be replaced by him because he knows he has options. She knows this. Now, the beta dude, she knows that he's a weakling. She knows that he don't have a lot of options. You know why she knows this? Because he's always running behind her all the time. He's always worrying about what she's doing all the time. He's always worrying about what she's up to all the time. A dude that is about his business ain't got time to be running behind a woman trying to figure out what she's doing and who she's hanging out with. We don't got time for all that. And that's how it is. So at the end of the day, like I've always said, for the past, 4 years now, either she's in or she's out. There's no time to discuss where we stand and how we feel all the time about each other. And man, look, people that have things to do, we don't only have time to be on that type of shit all the time. We don't have time to be sitting around saying, hey, are you happy with me? Look, we don't got time for all that. That's for little kids. That's when we were growing up. When your mom used to ask you, how you feeling today? Are you happy with it? Do you like it? Look, when you get older and when you, hopefully you begin to see the big picture and see the bigger scheme of things, a lot of stuff becomes kind of minute. It becomes like, it's not even serious. It's like, it doesn't really matter anymore. It's like a lot of stuff that I used to do in my 20s, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I've done it already. I don't look back on it. I just learn from it and move on. Most of it was fun. And that's great. But it's time to move on. Now, there's some people that have to catch up with you or have to catch up with me. That's understandable. But I'm not going to be waiting around for them to catch up, because A real boss dude, a real mover and a shaker, he ain't gonna be waiting around. He ain't gonna be waiting around to see if she's gonna put out. See, a lot of these women will say stuff like, "Oh, well, I don't want to, give it up so soon because I want to get to know him and everything." Which is the worst thing you could do. Because what's gonna change from now to 60 days from now, or 90 days from now, or six months from now? Nothing. So the boss like player, he ain't gonna be waiting around to see or if you're gonna make your mind up. And keep in mind, a woman is not obligated to sleep with you, right? But all I'm saying is those rules don't apply to every dude. That's all I'm saying. So until now, maybe you don't like how you're being treated by women right now. And if that's the case, you got to upgrade yourself. You got to get your money up, make as much money as you can, start a business if you want, do whatever you got to do to create a better life for yourself. Because once you do that, everything is going to change. Your relationship is going to change. Your way of living is going to change. Your way of being is going to change. Your finances is going to change. Just your spirit, who you are at the core, is going to change. And that energy is going to radiate out to other people when you're outside. And they say you attract who you are. You don't attract what you want. See, you get who you are in life. And the quality of your life is dictated upon the relationships you have with people in this world. So your life don't get better until you get better. That's just what it is. And the reason why these rules, the reason why these women have all these rules, because they're insecure. They have to control everything. They have to know what's going to happen next and all the nonsense. But ain't no guy that really feels good about himself that's going to go along with that crap or entertain her insecurities. Either she's going to upgrade herself or she's going to be gone. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, baby.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the stallion that I like. Hair from Cali, I live in the valley. Then you look sexy.
Yo! What's going down? We out here on these streets. The streets of the ATL. Nope. No. Nope. Been gone from the ATL. Yeah, man. So, hey, share the video and all that good stuff, And we're going to do like we always do, man. We're going to talk that talk and we're going to go out and make it happen. That's just what we do over here. Now, there's a lot of stuff there's some videos I've been seeing over the past week, I should say, that it's kind of I don't like it. You know, I don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't like a lot of things that I'm seeing online, especially when it's being when we're being targeted. Um, yeah, it's not, because I can see where things can go. I sometimes you gotta look at the big picture. Sometimes looking at this one thing is, and some people will say, well, hey, that's just one incident, man. You know what I'm saying? Not a big deal. No, it depends on if it gets picked up in the mainstream media. If it gets picked up in the mainstream media, it can be a big deal. You don't know who's going to see it. Somebody with power and clout might see it, and the laws and public policy could change. You just never know, man. Well, just never know, man. There's some things that people were talking about last year. It's already happening today. It's already in effect. Yeah. Really, man, But, I realize through all the changes that's been happening over the past 20 years, the only thing that's been constant is me. Everything, things change, other people change, laws change, public policies change, job change, currencies change, but the only thing that's been constant, for the most part, it's been me. I was always, I guess, the last person, that could make or break my situation. See, a lot of guys are waiting on outside circumstances to change before things get better, or at least that's what they hope for anyway. But if you're waiting on women to change, the laws to change, the economy to change, the politicians to change, man, you're going to be waiting for a long time. You're going to be waiting, and you might be dead and gone, still waiting on that shit. The only thing that's going to change and make a difference has to be you. This is why I always say, well, I don't always say it, but somebody brought to my attention, because, there's this thing where some guys think women in other countries are better than versus being in North America. I never really subscribed to that. I never said other women in other countries were better than women in North America. What I always say is this: they're just in a different environment. That's it. The only thing that keeps them in check and not get out of pocket is the environment and the family. That's it. The environment, the laws, public policy, mainly the family. Their families keep them in check. Their mothers, sisters, Their fathers keep them in check. Over here, who keeps women in check? Now, there's some women that they have moms, sisters keep them in check, but that ain't the majority. Not today. So who keeps the majority of women in check over here? Almost nobody. Today, you got a handful of families that keep these women in check, but it ain't the way it used to be. It ain't the way it used to be when I was growing up, and it damn sure ain't the way it used to be when my parents were growing up. Man, when my parents were growing up, heck, even when I was growing up, they used to shame them hoes. They used to be like, that heifer, she ain't nothing but a home wrecker. They used to shame them hoes when I was growing up. They be like, hey, you can't hang with us. You're a home wrecker. They used to shame them hoes, man. I used to feel bad for them. What happens today? They reward the hoes. Give them money. Give them fame. Give them clothes, jewelry, cars, all the materialistic bullshit. Get them high and drunk. Get them high and drunk for free. You get them high and drunk for free. And the other women got to pay. The other women that ain't hoes, they got to pay. And the other women that ain't hoes that's trying to do the right thing, they have a hard time. They got to pay for everything, and that makes a lot of women that's trying to do the right thing, it makes them discouraged sometimes because they see these hoes as getting shit thrown at them. A lot of women get discouraged, man. It's the ones that's trying to do the right thing. Sometimes you gotta be like, damn, she's a home wrecker. She done got, her phone blowing up. I barely get one. The woman that's trying to do the right thing barely get one phone call a week. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women get discouraged because of that type of shit. And I get it. I understand. But those women have to understand that them hoes, they're not going to last that long. They'll have a good run while they're young in the 20s and 30s. When they hit them 40s, it's downhill for them. They're going to get ran through like a railroad track. They're not going to last long. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to last long. So, yeah. Come on, man. I'm gonna put the link in here. Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in here. Yeah, them hoes, they don't last that long. So all the women that's trying to do the right thing, don't get discouraged. Don't pay attention to what them hoes is doing. They're not gonna last long. They never do. Never have. It looks like they having a good time and everything, but a lot of them women are miserable. A lot of them women are miserable, man. They're miserable. Just because they can go to the mall and buy all the bullshit they want. A lot of them women, I know a lot of them women, they miserable, man. They not happy. Them women ain't happy. So baby mamas, what you say? Yo.
Hey Sharp, how you doing, sir?
Good, man. What's on your mind?
What you said about the environment checks the woman.
Yeah.
I think you're 100% correct because see, a lot of brothers think that if they go to a foreign country and get a woman, bring her back here, she'll bring that same mentality here. But the problem is she'll adapt to this environment and she'll end up changing.
Yep.
I've actually seen or taught the guys who moved to a foreign country, learn the language, adapted, married a woman in their country, in that country, and the woman respects them more because he had to go through a lot of hurdles. You know what I mean? To
Yep.
assimilate to her culture.
Yep.
So a lot of these brothers need to, if they're going overseas, need to understand the culture and stay there for a little while and learn the language, start a business. You know what I mean? Then the
Yep.
woman will respect you based on your skills. And if you do bring her back, she'll understand she's respecting you based on what she saw in her country, not just because you brought her here.
Yeah, man. And you know what? We can do it. We can the opposite is true as well. You might have been knowing a woman for a while, and maybe y'all argue. Y'all have a lot of disagreements, right? And being that it's so toxic over here, y'all can say, "Hey, let's go on a vacation." When y'all on the vacation, all of a sudden y'all getting along now.
Yeah.
A lot of guys have had that experience.
Yeah, because you're probably around this negative energy, negative relationship. So when you're in the inside looking out, you cannot see what's going on. But when you're in the outside looking in, that's when your perspective changes and you realize you become just like the people around you.
Yep. You know, that's why I always say, man, I mean, if you bring a woman from someplace else, bring her over here, she's gonna start to pick up them bad habits. Especially if you got some trifling women in your family.
Yeah. Well, that's why most guys
and everybody got at least one.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say this. I think most guys who do go overseas are looking for a woman completely different from the women in their family. That's why they're really doing that, and they're trying to keep them away from the women in their family.
Oh, that's good.
That's the way I feel about it. Because I know some brothers who dated like Filipino women.
Yeah.
They'll see their moms or aunts once or twice a year for Christmas, the holiday. But other than that, no. They don't bring the woman around their family.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing. Shit, hey, that shit rubs off, man.
It does rub off. And I hate to say this too, man. A lot of times the woman will look at you like, why are you so different from your family?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She'll be questioning and start thinking maybe you're just like them and you'll be treating me similar in the future. Then the seeds planted that she's doubting you. You know what I mean? Some negativity will come from that.
Yeah, you know. And I also was saying, man, a lot of women that's trying to do the right thing out here, a lot of times they get discouraged, man, because they see them hoes is getting all the free shit and getting all the perks, and they be like, man, I don't know.
Well, as they say, you know, you go after the lowest hanging fruit. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. A lot of the women, especially the attractive, they're doing the right thing. They see the other women and what they're achieving based on their looks, or just going with what society says, which you just have a baby daddy, don't have a husband. Okay, and that falls into the whole trap of what they want for the black community. But a lot of women themselves didn't get the skills. They didn't get the education for whatever reason growing up. So they're just going towards the low hanging fruit to survive, man. That's all they're doing when they do that.
Yeah, and a lot of them women that I know personally, man, they're not happy, man. They're miserable, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
Because they realized they bought into this idea. Okay, either try to do it on your own, be Mrs. the girl, or they gave up things that they really wanted just to get this welfare system, this idea of, okay, I can be alone. But when they get to a certain age, they realize it was a lie, and
Yeah.
they will take that anger out on others. They'll try to manipulate some, like a couple or their own kids to fight. So now you got a household where everybody's strife. They have strife. They have no happiness except the person sitting back watching this chaos unfold.
Yeah, man.
It's a narcissist mentality.
Yeah. It's like, and I think I remember my dad told me something, man. At the time, I didn't really get it, but he said, whatever you want, you're gonna have to fight for it, and when you get it, you're gonna have to fight to keep it.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, don't tell me that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Your dad taught you that, because the problem is you got a lot of brothers. They did not learn the killer instinct, meaning they watched their moms their whole life get things. Okay, from men coming in and out of the house to government. So they're thinking, well, I should be able to do the same thing, but they have to learn. You got to get out and go out and get yours.
Yeah.
And you got to fight for it, because there's somebody else always looking around to take what you got, because they don't have the skills to build. So they just want to take what somebody else has. And if you don't learn that early, I'm telling you, you're going to go through life wondering, why don't I have anything? Because you never had the discipline to stand firm on something. You kept moving left and right. Somebody kept nudging you. So you walked off.
It's doggy dog out here, man.
It's doggy dog. And what's sad is there's a lot of families like this, especially from these single parent households. I'm telling you, where the moms will do something to have the kids fight. They should be together helping each other's. Everybody falls, so you might have to stay with a cousin or aunt or uncle for a little while to get back on your feet. But then they'll have everybody talk bad about you, tell your ex or tell your girl, whatever, he's like this, or whatever. And now you're being drained of energy that you should be actually getting help for. So then you got families out here, right? Everybody's alone, so you got brothers thinking, well, I don't want a woman like my mom. Okay, so I'll go overseas because the women there do value family, true. But do you have the skills and the mentality to sustain a family as a man? You have a role too, and most brothers, I hate to say this, don't.
Nah, especially as a foreigner.
Yeah.
Shit.
Because you have to learn her culture and her language, and a lot of guys don't want to. They're expecting the woman to be like subservient to them, period. Yeah. But it comes with the cost. You have to help her out too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I gotta go, Sharp.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
Baby mamas and tits get all the perks, even from the government. The wholesome women get nothing. What's your views on Austin Holloman getting booted out of Brazil? Man, shit go left sometime, man. If when you're traveling out and about in any country, things could go left. And if it happens, I would recommend you go to a hotel and pack your bags immediately. When I say immediately, I'm talking like immediately, because you have no rights. The only rights you have are the ones that can be backed. So you're a foreigner and you will always be a foreigner in these other countries. And you think you don't get the benefit of the doubt over here. Other countries are worse. So shit happens, man. You know, this ain't the first time that type of shit happened. Plenty of people got ran out of places, man. This ain't nothing new. It's not new, man. Shit happens, you know. But this is why it's good to know some locals, you know, have some friends, you know, if possible, in these places, just in case shit go left. They might be able to get you out of a jam. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know anybody, if you just over there doing your own thing and you don't care about meeting other people, and if you need a favor, you ain't gonna have nobody. You know, nobody's gonna look out for you because they don't know you, and nobody knows you, and the people they know don't know you. So that's what happens, man. You know, it happens all the time. It's not new. It just, his story just made the mainstream media over there. That's all. And he got picked up. He got picked up over here. God damn. You know? Now see, when stories like that make the mainstream media, these fools in DC and at the White House, they see this, they hear about this type of shit. And, you know, pretty soon you might start seeing motherfuckers might start getting targeted out here, man. You know, and it's not about whether it's true or false, whether he did it or not. It's not really about that. Once it makes the mainstream media. And it only takes one person of influence in any mainstream media outlet to run with a story and spin it, and it could go anywhere, you know. And if you're a foreigner, they're not going to believe you. Shit, you're not even from here. You in my neighborhood. You in my country. I don't know you. You don't know me. You pray, as far as they're concerned. If you're a foreigner, and if people can take advantage of you, they probably will. That's what I've learned over the past 30, 40 years. If they can take advantage of you, they probably will. Male or female. There's a woman that put the story out. The woman, I guess she's a writer, journalist. I know she's in the mainstream media over there in Brazil. I saw her Instagram. It looks like, you know, she's been on television, mainstream television, on a couple look like talk shows, and you know. So that tells me that she's well known in certain media outlets over there. So her word is better than Austin's or mine, or even yours. We don't live in Brazil. That's how that shit is. You know? That's why they used to say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And it's not what you know, it's what you can prove as well. So, hey, man, shit happens. You just got to learn from it and move on. You know? That's why it's not, and I talked about this in another videos, no one likes being made a fool out of. No one likes being seen in a bad light. No one, even a hoe, don't like being seen in a bad light. just because she's a hoe, that don't mean you should treat her like a hoe. No, I don't do that shit. No, I learned my lesson. Now, I used to be that way. But no. See, my grandmother said something to me that I forgot about at one point. She said, everybody can be used, but don't misuse them. She said, everybody can be used, just don't misuse them. You know? So there's value in the hoes have some type of value in society. Oh, God. I mean, it's true. It ain't just about sex all the time, man. You know, hey. You know, a lot of hoes, you know what? A lot of them women that's loose like that out here, they know a lot of people. They got a lot of them, they got some of them got pulled. Some of them can pick up the phone and call people and get shit done. There's some of them hoes is like that. Hey, don't sleep on these hoes now. They be knowing people. They be knowing people. You got to get past that. I know it's hard to get past her being loose. I get it. I know. You know. You gotta, you know, I know. I get it. But you'd be surprised, man. I know I was surprised. You know. I mean, I knew a girl that was like that, man. I knew a hoe that was like that. Man, she knew how to, whatever I needed, man, she could pick up the phone and call somebody. I said, damn, I can't let her go. Come on, I can't let her go, man. I got to keep her around as long as I can. Hey, I need help, man. I can't do everything by myself. I ain't Superman. Sometimes, man, it ain't about just sex, man. You know, hey, it's kind of like when Elon Musk. You know, when Elon Musk said something like, "This is like a month ago." I think it was last month. When wait a minute, was it maybe 2 months ago? You know, at least I saw the article 2 months ago. You know, Elon Musk was like, when he took over Twitter, one of his employees was like, she deserved a raise, right? And he was like, oh, okay. So he gave her some time off just to see how valuable she was. And when she came back to work, he fired that bitch. So whatever her job was, she wasn't that valuable, you know? And that's how you should see the women in your life, just like that. What are they doing that you can't do? Or what are they doing that's unique? Don't tell me, see, if you ask the average woman in America, hey, what do you bring to the table? It's like, oh, this good loving. Hey, man, look. That shit cut it out. Every woman thinks that they got some good loving. Cut it out. You gotta be more than that now. I've never heard a woman say that, oh, I'm whacking the sack. I never heard a woman say that. You know. And there are some whacking the sack, but I never heard none said so. So you gotta get better than that. You gotta get better than that. If you're a woman now. You can't just be about sex all the time. I mean, sex come dime a dozen. Today. Oof. God. Oh. Boy, they giving it away like hotcakes out here. Damn. So yeah, you know, and that's how a man, that's why a man enjoys, not necessarily enjoy, that's why a man would keep a woman around. Maybe that woman does something, you know, bring more joy to his life, support him in some type of way. That's how, if a woman asks me for some advice, I would tell a woman, once you sleep with that guy, you got 24 to 48 hours to do something to stick out. I don't know what that is, but you got 24 to 48 hours. And hopefully you've been around him long enough and know some things about him, at least a little bit, to know what he's into, what he likes, etc. Otherwise, you're going to be just like the rest of them chicks. That's how it is. You know, sex come dime a dozen, man. You know. I'm talking about in the beginning. You know, in the beginning, shit, you're just like everybody else for the most part. And let's just be honest. Most people, men and women, are just average. It's average. Even if you go visit another country, most of the women you're going to meet, they're average too. They're going to be average too. The only way, especially if you don't speak the language, you know, that's even worse. That's even more of an uphill battle. The only way you're going to be able to meet the cream of the crop type of woman in these other places, you have to be there. You have to be around for a long time to meet women like that. When I was in Japan, it took me like, shit. It took me like 2 years, bro, to meet like a real good woman. She was a rich bitch. I'm rich, bitch. Like David Chappelle. Yeah, she was a rich bitch, man. It took me 2 years to meet a woman like that. And I wasn't looking for that. But it took me 2 years to meet a good, quality, down-to-earth, supportive, loving, caring woman. In another country like Japan. Think about that. It took me 2 years. I didn't speak the language, you know, at the time. I didn't even understand the language at the time. The chances of you going to visit and meeting a quality woman like that is slim to none. And you know why? Because you're in the tourist areas. You're in the tourist areas. Most You see, the tourist areas is a bad representation of most places. Most people, they don't really hang out in them tourist areas like that. Not on the regular, unless it's a weekend thing or a holiday, something like that. But for the most part, once you get away from the tourist areas, you have working class, everyday people, man. Just working class, everyday people outside of the tourist areas. And you might never meet those people if you don't stay around long enough and travel out. But if you don't speak the language, ain't nobody speak English outside of them tourist areas like that. Once you leave, like, let's take Japan, for example. Outside of Tokyo, people don't speak English like that. Almost nobody speak English outside of Tokyo. And even certain parts of Tokyo, they don't speak no English. So you can't communicate. In these other countries, it's the same shit. You know. Now Japan is unique because Japan is like the probably one of it's probably is one of the only first world countries that speak the least amount of English. Yeah. They speak the least amount of English out of all the first world countries. Did you know that? Yeah. Outside of Tokyo, almost nobody speaks English, man. So if you're out and about outside the tourist areas and you can't speak, you shit up creek, buddy. You shit up. The train, even if you're on the train, nothing is in English. Ain't nothing in English. You can't even understand how much the train fee is. It ain't in English. They have numbers sometimes. And these other places, it's very similar. See, in the tourist areas, that's where all the bullshit is at. Robbing, stealing, jacking. It's the same shit everywhere. Robbing, stealing, jacking, hoeing, drugging, drinking. It's a cesspool. That's just for making money in these countries, in these cities. That's all it is. It's like the nightclub. The nightclub is just it's a cesspool. People go there. Look, the club ain't shit. The club ain't never been shit. Everybody know that. That's been living for long enough. Everybody know why they going to the club. For the most part. Now, some women will say, "Oh, I'm going there. I want to dance." Get out of here. No. Get out of here. You can dance at home. If that's the case, take some dance classes. I don't know. Shit. You know, come on. Yeah. Well, tourist areas, it's just to generate income for the town or that city. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's where the robbers and jackers and scams and almost anything you could ever think of happens in these tourist cities. And I'm like, you got to be careful. You know, you got to be careful if you go to Vegas. Any place where a lot of money is circulating, Vegas, Atlantic City, New York, Atlanta, LA, any place where the money's flowing fast, man, you got to be careful in those places. You can get got at any given time. That just comes with the territory. And these other cities outside of North America, they ain't no different. Tokyo ain't no different. Sydney, Australia ain't no different. Bangkok, Thailand ain't no different. It ain't. Malaysia ain't no different. No different. The same thing going. If it's a tourist city, you know, the same shit going on. That's just how it is. It's all about making money. You know, almost every country has a tourist, some sort of tourist attraction. Even Dubai, you know, same thing. Even Dubai is just a city, though. A city and country all in one. You know, but it's still some bull. It's a Muslim country, but it's still some bullshit going on there. You know, and you know, I don't like picking on the religious communities. Well, let me tell you something. Any religious group of men, I should say, that's wearing anything that resembles a dress, that looks like a dress, there's always some weird, degenerate shit going on. Just keep that in mind now. You know, that's how it is. Let me see. As young, I think he forgot that in other countries they look down at Americans, specifically a black man. Well, a lot of these places, these people are anti-black in these other countries. You got to always keep that in mind. The Bible talks about a good woman is like a ship bringing in goods to help support others. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of a relationship. You're supposed to be going somewhere together, the two people. Yes, in the tourist area, it is a cesspool. My girl even told me lady boys gravitate to the cities while the locals in small towns don't approve of that behavior. TV makes us believe all Thai accept it. Yeah, you know what? Thailand is a really conservative place, believe it or not. But if you look at how they promote Thailand, you would think otherwise. You would think that Thailand is wide open. But no, Thailand is a very conservative place, really. They're not wide open sexually like that. No, not at all. You know? Yes, sir. I saw a documentary in Singapore. It is building itself. Casinos like Vegas. People were getting scammed, robbed left to right. Oh, yeah. I didn't know they were building casinos in Singapore. Singapore is a nice place. And check this out. As strict as Singapore is, they got bullshit all going on over there too. Singapore is probably the most strict place I've ever been in my life. You can't drop gum on the sidewalk. And you can't do nothing wrong in Singapore. Excuse me. You can't do anything wrong in Singapore. They'll lock your ass up ASAP if you get caught. Zero tolerance. The streets are clean there. Damn, this strict here, boy. I said, man, I don't know if I'm ever coming back here, boy. What up, Brian? Yeah, Singapore is a very strict place, boy. Whew. If you go to Singapore, be careful. Man, you can't do nothing wrong there. Damn. They have zero tolerance. You think you living in you think a Commonwealth is bad? Oh no. No, Singapore is worse than the Commonwealth, boy. Woo. And you're a foreigner. That's another thing. You're a foreigner, boy. If you're a foreigner, they're gonna put something on your ass. You know. And another thing, let's talk about you meeting women, us meeting women. These guys, these people in these other countries are never going to be happy that the foreigners are taking the women. Always keep that in mind. No man, even some women in these other countries, they are never going to be happy that the foreigners are taking the women, especially if it's the cream of the crop. They ain't never going to be happy about that shit. It doesn't matter what country either. And don't believe the hype. Some people, a lot of these women will lie to you, and a lot of guys will even lie to you and say, hey, man, we don't care, man. If you want to talk, now go ahead, man. They be lying to your ass. You're naive to believe that. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. That might be a trap. If you over there while they talking like that. No, these guys are never happy that you get into women. Especially women that they want. And the women that you're going to meet if you go visit, those are just average women, bro. They're just average. Women you meet at the nightclub, the mall, the one you even meet through your buddy. His girl had a friend. Those are just average women, bro. Those are just average women, bro. Yeah, this is average. Most of the time, the women that speak English, like when you meet them, I'm talking fluent English, fluent. Let's say her first language is Spanish, or her first language is Japanese, something like that. Most of the time, if she speaks fluent English, most of the time, she's from a family that's well off. And, you know, they got a little bit of money, her family or whatever. So they had time to learn English. Most of the time, that's how it is now. You know, in Japan, I know it was like that. You know, and even some of the women I meet here in America that just got here like a couple months ago or whatever, they had time to learn English because they had they didn't have to worry about money. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how that go. I'm not saying it's always like that. That's not what I'm saying, you know. But it's like that a lot. Now, sometimes if the woman speaks English, sometimes that can be a bad thing. Because, you know, some people will say English is the devil's language. And English is the devil's language. A lot of people say that, bro. English is the devil's language. Because people will say anybody that speaks any other language that's their first language and not English, they don't get brainwashed as easily. People have said this. I don't know how true that is, man. You know, I don't know, man. I just try to get to know the person, man. I don't really get it. I don't get deep into languages. And maybe that's a good thing or bad thing. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I just try to get to know the person, man. That's all I do. You know, I only speak one language. I understand a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of Japanese. I speak a little bit of Japanese. You know, but that's it, man. You know. But you know, environment is key when it comes to relationships. You know, and that's just how it is, man. If you bring a girl over here, you can't get away from the bullshit over here. You can't get away from the negativity over here. Doesn't matter how mentally strong you are. I don't look at no news, no cable television. I haven't looked at cable television in 15 years. And I still run into negativity from time to time. I look at what I want to look at, like Netflix, whatever's on Netflix I want to look at, I look at. But I don't look at cable television. Most people do look at cable television, though. So what type of negativity, how much negativity do you think they're receiving? A lot. So that's probably what your wife going to be looking. She's going to be looking at cable television once you get over here. And she's going to start picking up all the bad habits. And she's going to get brainwashed. Now, I'm not saying y'all won't make it long term. No, I'm not saying that at all. But if there's nobody over here to hold her accountable, she might drift off. You know, you might have to reel her back in from time to time. You know, look, the propaganda is strong over here, man. I think a lot of guys underestimate that. You know, you might have to reel her back in from time to time. It takes a village. It takes a village regardless of where you live at. But if you're in her country, it's going to be much easier because she's around her family. And she's been raised that way all her life. You know, that's all she knows. She don't know nothing else. Now, she might hear things, but hearing and seeing is one thing, but experiencing That's a whole different ball game, you know. But if it's up to me, I wouldn't bring a woman from elsewhere to North America. I wouldn't do it. What I would do, I would go back and forth. That's what I would do. I wouldn't pull her away from her family in Colombia or Brazil, wherever she's from. I wouldn't do it. You stay here, we'll make a living here. And whenever I want to come back over here for holidays or kick it with my family, yeah, I would do it. Or whenever I want to, maybe I have a house here and over there. You know, who knows? That's how I would do it. I mean, I'm planning on doing that shit anyway. That's my plan. That's my goal. I want to have a house here and property elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what elsewhere it could be. I'm still looking into that, but that's what I'm gonna do. But it takes money to do that shit. It takes money to do that. That's not gonna be easy. You know? It takes money to do that. It takes money to get on a plane and travel. Doesn't take a lot of money when you get there, most places. But it's expensive, bro, to be getting on planes all the time, going back and forth to other countries. It's not cheap. Now in America, North America, it's not so bad. You fly from New York to Charlotte, New York, Chicago. That's not bad, man. That's like $300-400. You know? Charlotte to Vegas. That's $300. That's not bad. You know? But when you start going from like East Coast, from North Carolina to LA, that's when the price starts going up. You know? Brazil to Charlotte. Yeah, that's not cheap. That's when the price start going up. You know? That's why they say, man, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. You did. You know? That's how it is, man. So, hey, like, share the video. Don't forget to check out my Patreon. I'm out. Peace.
Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Here from